The budget allocation of the department is 3.9 billion rands for the financial year. About 1.6 billion allocation is directed towards SABC, ICASA and the Post Office.
We must take care to ensure that entities under this department are not contributors to the country's financial woes. Given the reality that budget allocations are unlikely to increase in future, the SABC's new turnaround plan and the business rescue that is currently underway at the Post Office will need to ensure that they deliver financial stability of these entities. A total of 1.6 billion has been allocated for transfers and subsidies to ICT enterprise development and state-owned enterprises oversight to ensure the effective monitoring of initiatives such as the SAPO Business Rescue, the SABC strategy, and ICASA's regulatory compliance operations. The department has a responsibility to ensure that as we move into an increasingly digitized economy, that no one is left behind, either by circumstance or their resources. In part, we will fulfill this responsibility by widening access to broadband connectivity via our flagship program, SA Connect. To achieve this, the budget allocates 1.8 billion to SA Connect Phase 1 and Phase 2.
Progress made so far on digital migration was outlined.
The Broadcasting Digital Migration Program has, since its inception, registered 1.7 million households for government-subsidized set-top boxes across the country. To date, almost 1.3 million of these registered households have migrated through the installation of these set-top boxes. While the work to install the remaining 400,000 continues, we are committed to supporting ongoing registrations for government subsidies. To date, 810 analog TV transmitters have been switched off, and work to switch off the remaining 184 is underway. I will be convening a series of stakeholder engagements with all role players to assess the readiness towards the scheduled analog switch-off deadline. It is important to consider the progress that has been made so far and all of the difficulties that have emerged since the deadline was announced.
During the debate, the new Parliamentary Committee chairperson touched on the importance of a public broadcaster.
The recalibration of the SABC will happen in the era of over-the-top television services, and it must be said that the benefits of having a public broadcaster far outweigh the funding required to deliver public service content. The future of the Post Office is in the era of e-commerce. Significant strides have been made, but the majority of people who stand to gain the most from broadband are yet to be touched. We welcome the progress that is made through South Africa Connect, but we urge the department to do more and even faster. So in carrying out our oversight duty, the committee will closely monitor Phase 2 of SA Connect to ensure that indeed a more connected society is realized in all corners of the country.
The high transmission costs paid by SABC to Sentech continues to be a thorny issue.
It is unacceptable that SABC's debt to Sentech has risen to more than 1 billion. Honourable Minister, the SABC Sentech stalemate requires your urgent attention. We welcome the announcement by yourself, Minister, on your appointment of a mediator on the matter. What we now ask is that you please give us timelines on which to hold you accountable.
The MK party also weighed in on the matter around the SABC and Sentech.
Why is it that the SABC, again, should be continued to find themselves with Sentech's transmission costs and whilst it aims to service the poorest of the poor, and yet on the other hand it goes cap in hand depending on multi-choice for certain strategic services, when it actually should be going to multi-choice with a check issued by the PIC or the IDC media, funding to take over a stake that's being targeted by a foreign French company. Why? Digital migration, on the other hand, initiated 12 years ago, is still moving at a snail pace, further infringing on our people's constitutional rights to television content.
The EFF, which rejected the department's budget vote, criticized the changes made through the Government of National Unity.
The handing over of the ill-functioning Department of Communication and Digital Technologies under the ANC to the capital-driven anti-African DA can only result in further broadening digital exclusion as we slowly process into a digitalized economy. White privilege will now operate on steroids with an influx of white people who far exceed their population demographic, occupying strategic positions without satisfactory qualifications. We'll probably see an increase in the sale of black shoe polish, as the DA has, during a plenary session, stated that white people have to paint their faces black to access economic opportunities. Total disregard to their institutionalized privilege.
The Deputy Minister came to the defense of the GNU during the debate.
You say GNU is a farce. It's because you are scared of working as a South African. You want to work as a black. African National Congress is not a black party. African National Congress is a non-racial party. And African National Congress knows the difference between South Africanness and racism. Our revolution is about South Africans being South African. You are scared of being South Africans because you're not going to pass the test of the measures that you must actually undergo.
Order, please. Members, order, please. Honorable Deputy, your time is up.
I wanted to continue. Thank you very much.
Internet connectivity versus human rights also came to the fore during the debate.
Internet connectivity should be a basic human right. Like clean water. How do we ensure that in public spaces we access it properly and continually? Because it would make access to public services very easy. It would ensure that as we come as citizens, we are protected. Public participation in debates. How can we use the broadcast to educate so that when people come to debates about bills, they are informed. They are not just coming there to express their ignorance.
In closing the debate, the minister welcomed suggestions from members. He also emphasized on the commitment to find a solution between the public broadcaster and the signal distributor.
We don't claim to have the monopoly of any good ideas, and it is our approach that any meaningful contribution that comes, regardless of where it is from, we will take it because it seeks to inform the actions that we take going forward. So to the Honorable Bodlani, Honorable Khadebe, Honorable Vilagazi, and Honorable Ndlela, we have initiated a process in addition to what was already happening between SABC and Sentech, and it is our approach and our hope that that will lead to a solution from there.
While the debate has been concluded in the mini-plenary, the budget vote that was tabled still has to be approved in a full plenary. Mercedes Besent, SABC News, Parliament.